Some news stories for you. Firstly, China, where a plane crash is being reported. A Boeing 737 has crashed there. More than 130 persons are on board. Boeing 737 MAX crashed in Ethiopia and Indonesia in the last few years. Secondly, two news stories from athletics. World Athletics Indoor Championship was held in Belgrade, where Ethiopian athletes performed in an outstanding manner. Their performance was terrific, viewers, in comparison with last year's performance. Secondly, in New York, a marathon was held. Thousands took part in the marathon. The athlete who came third protested in support of Tigray. What did he say? Who is he? And lastly, viewers, Ogaden National Liberation Front, ONLF, fought for several years. It launched armed struggle from 1984 to 2018. Then in 2018, it abandoned armed struggle. It converted its struggle into political struggle. Now it's a political party. But some reports are being shared which indicate that former military commanders of this party, ONLF, they have suddenly disappeared. Where are they? Why are they keeping a low profile? Is ONLF going to start a new phase of armed struggle, or is it doing this thing to avoid any crackdown from Somali regional government? Firstly, viewers, China, where a plane crash is being reported. 737-800 Boeing plane in China has crashed in Guangxi region of China. It was a local flight and it has crashed into this mountainous area of Guangxi region. 132 persons are on board, 9 are crew members, 123 are passengers. So far, no news about casualties. Chinese media has not confirmed anything about the number of casualties so far. It was China Eastern Airlines flight. The flight have dozens of these Boeing 737-800 aircrafts. Now, we know that in Ethiopia in 2019, a Boeing 737 MAX crashed. It happened in 2019, I think. In 2018, a Boeing 737 MAX crashed in Indonesia. Then Boeing 737 MAX was grounded in most countries of the world. Now another Boeing variant is involved in a crash. And this plane was a new plane, just 5 to 6 year old plane, 737-800. It has crashed, and will update you in coming hours about the number of casualties. Boeing and Airbus are two leading competitors in aviation industry. Both are world-class jet manufacturers. Boeing is based in the US, Airbus is based in Europe. But Boeing planes have been involved in some crashes in recent years. Secondly, viewers, two news stories from World Athletics. Yesterday, World Athletics Indoor Championship concluded in Belgrade. Ethiopian athletes performed extremely well in comparison with the last year's performance. Their performance this year was terrific. Ethiopia won 9 medals. 4 gold, 3 silver, 2 bronze. Solomon Baraga and Lamlam Hello both won 3,000-meter race in men and women events. And Samuel Tafira and Gudaf Sage won 1,500-meter race for men and women. So 4 gold medals for Ethiopia, 3 silver medals and 2 bronze medals. Ethiopia won 9 medals. And Ethiopia topped the table, medal table. US number 2, it won 19 medals. 3 gold, 7 silver and 9 bronze. So Ethiopia topped the table in terms of having won most golds in this contest. Last year, Ethiopia won 5 medals, 4 gold, 1 silver. And US won around 18 medals last year. So Ethiopian athletes this year have performed extremely well, outstanding performance. At least there is one field from where we are hearing good news about Ethiopia, that it's making strides. Ethiopian athletes known for years for their extraordinary craftsmanship when it comes to these races. Another news story is also from athletics. A marathon was held in New York. It's called United New York City Half Marathon. United New York City Half Marathon. Thousands took part in this marathon. The person who came third protested in support of Tigray. He said, end Tigray genocide, end Tigray genocide. His name is Tashome Mekonen, an Ethiopian. I think he is from Tigray. He came third. It was 13.1 mile long marathon. Around 25,000 runners participated, and Tashome Mekonen came third. He raised his voice for the people of Tigray at the end of the race. Watch this clip showing Tashome Mekonen protesting in support of Tigray.
As we have the first full capacity New York Road Runners event since the pandemic began. 25,000 runners here today. We had 25,000 runners at the TCS New York City Marathon back in November. With this one full capacity, the first time in 3 years we've run the United Airlines NYC half, and what a day of racing we have had thus far.
That's good fun. There's Mekonen, who is in third. Edward Cheserek, all smiles. He should. You know, very, very impressive race today. Mekonen really having a great race too.
And that's really the best.
Last news story is from the Somali region of Ethiopia. Ogaden National Liberation Front is a political party, opposition party in the Somali region now. When it was formed in 1984, it was an armed group. It fought for around 3 decades. Then in 2018, it signed peace deal. It converted itself into a political party, opposition party, registered party. It contests elections. Now, what we have heard is that in the past few hours and days, former military commanders of ONLF, they have disappeared. From towns, from cities, they are disappearing into countryside, into rural areas. And dozens of these commanders, mostly mid-level commanders and some senior commanders as well, they have disappeared. Why have they disappeared? Is ONLF going to start a new phase of armed struggle against Ethiopian government? We know that ONLF has been trying to form an alliance with other opposition parties like CSC and others to start a movement against Somali President Mustafa Umar's government. Though we have not seen the start of any such movement on the ground. Talks are underway. We have seen several meetings between ONLF, CSC and other opposition parties, especially in Kenya. And ONLF has been accusing Somali regional government of launching a crackdown on its members. It is being speculated by some sources that Mustafa Umar's government was planning a crackdown on these former military commanders of ONLF. The plot was uncovered in advance by some sources, and that is why these military commanders, they are disappearing, because they fear that in coming days Mustafa Umar's government could launch a major crackdown on former military commanders of ONLF. Let's see.